Hey, hello, this is Pavan. Welcome to technofilesub.com. Today we are going to talk about protecting your WordPress installation from brute force attacks. Recently, I've noticed that there are many unwanted visits, or you may call it as a suspicious visits to my blog. And then I've noticed that the user is trying to access wp-login.php file based on the access logs. So I felt this as suspicious activity and then have installed this plugin called IP Blacklist Cloud. So after installing this plugin, I've configured it in such a way that if at least one login fails, then I have to blacklist the IP. I mean the IP that which user is trying to log in must be blacklisted. But even after doing that, what I've noticed is that let me go to that IP blacklist. That particular person who is trying to access the blog has so many IPs. I mean, there are many in number. I cannot restrict based on IP as well because it keeps on going. And if you want to purchase a premium plugin, uh, then it may get the list of IPs from the cloud. But I don't want to go to premium. So what I've done is that I've used the technique that we have spoke earlier, like we have spoke about htaccess file and the 403 forbidden bypass technique in the past. So I know that I can restrict access to wp-login.php file based on the htaccess file, which actually Apache takes care of it. So today we are going to talk about that technique that I have used to block, brute force attacks. So this is simple um, code that you can paste in htaccess file, which I have actually copied from HostGator support page. I don't remember exactly the support page, but this is a simple code that you can use to restrict the access to wp-login.php file. What basically this does is that when an error document is 401, I mean, when you try to log in and if that particular error is 401, then it shows that unauthorized access. And when you try to log in and if the error is 403, then it shows the forbidden in the screen that, when you try to log in. And the files match will say that what particular files should be protected with this particular configuration. So all this particular detail will be protected for this wp-login.php file. And auth name is something that you can use to identify what particular password that you have set. So let's say that you are trying to log in. Okay, I've logged into Technofile, so let me log into this thing. See, here you are seeing that authorized only. Authorized only is nothing but the statement that I have pasted here. So auth name is authorized only, so that I will identify that what particular password that I might have set for this particular restriction that I'm having at this point of time. So as I've told you, like let's say if I'm trying to cancel, it creates a 401 error, and then you get that unauthorized access, which is nothing but this one 401. So like that you can restrict the access to wp-login.php file whenever you the redirection happens to wp-login.php file. Here as you can see, this particular access has been restricted because of that htaccess file that I've created. So here the authentication type is basic, and of course there are many types of authentication that you can have: basic, and none, and digest. These are some authentication techniques that which we are least bothered about, but at this point of time we can use the basic authentication, which depends on the type of operating system that has been used. I mean, when you are using it on Windows installation of Apache, then you will have the MD5 encryption, and when you are using in the Linux operating system, then you will have salt with crypt technique. So basic should, in any case, basic should do. And authentication user file contains the username and password details that you will need for the authorization. So here at this location, I mean this, since this is a copied code from the HostGator, it has path and .wp admin. Actually, I won't suggest you to use .wp admin, but use .ht some description that you might want. Generally, the files will be .ht password that will be used all over, but it's up to you to use any sort of name with .ht and after that. The reason why I'm saying is that .ht files are protected by Apache. Any user who is trying to access with .ht as extension will not be allowed to access that particular file. So that is authentication file, and here I'm using technique to require valid user. I mean, if user has a valid identification, let's say, if, I mean, you can maintain list of usernames in the username password file where you can maintain hundreds of usernames, and if it's a valid user you need to allow him no matter what. So that's what the valid user technique that I am using here. So if you want to know more about these keywords, you can actually Google with core authentication Apache. I mean, I think it should do core authentication. It is core authentication module of Apache. So I think you should be able to find it, but let's see. Yeah. So here you contain the, I mean, you can see the directives that have been used and what all can be used. So that's pretty much about this particular file. And let me show you an example for this. So when you have installed Apache, this XAMPP already, you might have noticed that there is a directory called forbidden. Here in this forbidden directory, you will see that there are .htaccess and .htpassword files. So when you provide .htpassword file in the same directory, let me open the .htaccess file. See, authentication type basic and authentication name is forbidden area. I mean, when you try to access this particular file, so okay, let me try to access HTTP localhost. I think it's WordPress. Oh no, I think it's forbidden. See, forbidden area. This is what we have seen just now. And the password file that is required is .htpassword. So you can see that there is htpassword file. Let me open it. As you can see here, it is not encrypted. I mean, it is a direct password with the user and pass. But I would suggest you to encrypt the password. So how do we do that? We have an inbuilt tool for creating a password, and as well as you can use online tools to create a password file for you. If I remember correctly, it is htaccess tools. Yes, htaccess tools. This is one particular website where you can provide the username and a password. When you create htpassword file, you can see that it is encrypted. So basically this particular website uses the MD5 encryption, which is common for both Linux and Windows operating system, so you should not face any problems in using this particular htpassword file. uh, and alternatively, what you can do is that uh, in the Apache installation, so let me go to dir cdht docs. Let me create a directory, and let me create a directory called forbidden2. And what I'll do here is that, okay, let me explain it via the WP installation itself, so with WordPress installation itself, so that it becomes easier for you to create a file later. So this is one simple such file that you can use for htaccess files. So, but okay, I've stopped at this location. So let me go to cd forbidden2. and you can create a ht password file by the command ht password. If you want to see the options, you can put slash colon to see the option, and for creating a new file you can use -c option, and there is another override option also that you can use if you have already created a file password file already, but let me use the create file option for now. So all I need to do is ht password -c and provide the username. So let's say that I'm going to use the username abc, and it asks me, okay, I did not provide the path. So let me provide the path. So I am going to use the same path and going to create .ht password. So it asks me then for the password. So basically I can provide any password. So this particular file has been created in that particular directory. So if I go now, this ht password file has been provided. So all I need to do is I need to provide this particular ht password file to the htaccess file. So I can create htaccess file here itself for this particular directory. But because I want to protect the WordPress installation, so let me show you the example for the WordPress installation. So localhost and WordPress -wp -admin. So if I try to access this particular uh, installation, it is letting me log in now. So I'm logging out, and say I can use the wp.login.php file normally. But if I need to protect this installation from brute force attacks, what I'll do is that I'll use the htaccess file, ht password file that has been created. So all I need to do is I need to create htaccess file for that particular directory with this particular statements. So authentication user file will be the path that I have used ht password. So this I need to create in the WordPress installation directory. So let me go to XAMPP, htdocs, WordPress, and here I'm going to use a .htaccess file. So file name will be .htaccess. Now let me try to access the directory again. See, it shows you this particular authentication. When the authentication is successful, then only it will let you log in. So it allowed me to log in. So in that way, you are not letting that particular person try to access your wp-login.php file. In this way, the brute force attacks can be stopped directly from accessing the wp-login.php file. Although I mean there are other techniques that people are using nowadays, that xml rpc.php file, there will be xml rpc.php file using which you can find out the username, and they can actually try to use the password, random password, then you can actually brute force. But in my case, what happened is that the user who tried to access has simply used the admin and random password, so that I can easily identify that it is a brute force attack. But in your case, I know it might get little complicated as well if the attacker or the hacker who is trying to access is a little intelligent, rather than using the tools. So in that way you can protect your WordPress installation. Hopefully you like the tutorial, and please let me know if you have any comments below.